Debra and I work for the Swanee River Regional Library, and today we'd like to bring some good ideas that you can do at home while you are self-quarantined. Our heroes of the medical field and police department, law enforcement don't have the equipment they need, so we have taken the opportunity to make different face masks that you could easily make at home. Our first one here is for you that don't have a sewing machine. This is made out of paper towel, and over here we have, and I'm sure you can use several. I would use a thicker one. This happens to be an automobile paper towels, so they're a little thicker. And all you do is you take this paper towel and you will fold it almost an inch in, and then you turn it over and you will do it like an accordion out of this paper towel, and you just keep on turning it over and turning it over by 1 inch, and it's very easy to do. In a pinch, when you think that you need something over your nose for safety, this is something, as long as there's a shortage in our medical things, you can make your own right here at home. And you just staple it on the ends. Almost everybody has a stapler. I would turn it over and do it the opposite way just to make sure that it stays. And for most people, they all have rubber bands, and you just staple that rubber band right on there to the end. And we will show you how this face mask is going to go on. There's that one, and I would do it on the very same side as the first one. And we will get that right in there and put that rubber band on there. And as you can see, it folds out, and you've got yourself a perfect face mask that you can wear if you're going to the store and you just can't find what you want. There's a perfect face mask that will save you and can help you when you go out into public. Today we're going to also make some out of material. I have 3 different kinds here. This one doesn't have this ear things on. It's very easy. You just fold it over. This one is one that ties. They are double-sided, and that one will protect. This one, though, I think is the best one for us to make today, and it is reversible. Goes over the ears really fast. So I'm going to teach you how to just throw that together, and it is a great face mask that you can make easily in your home and send it to our heroes that are out in the field, exhausted at this time as our nation goes through a horrible experience with all these sick people. So first of all, I'm going to take a pattern that I made, and it measures 5.5 inches across, and it is 6 inches high. And I'm going to put it on here where I'm going to get 4 layers. I'm making it reversible, so I have 2 layers of each material. And I'm going to take my scissors and just cut out this pattern. I love this material as our nation fights together to win over this sickness that is spreading so quickly across our nation. And many of us are wondering what in the world we can do to help, and this is one way that our medical field and law enforcement will really appreciate anything that you can get and send their way. So I now have 2 of each color, front and back, and I'm going to come right over here. The only other thing I will need is the earpiece, and this is the really thin elastic, and it is 10 inches long, and I will need 2 of those for my earpiece. And you will tie it together so that it can go around the ears when you're all done sewing this face mask. And I just put a good old tie in there so it doesn't come apart while they're in the field. Many of our nurses and doctors are getting really close to these people and don't have the proper equipment, and we want to make sure that we can help them any way that we can. So we're going to take this rounded edge and we're going to put our material face to face so the nice part is hidden, and we're just going to sew right along this part right here. And I would reverse right here on the edges to make sure it does not come apart when you're trying to work with it. And that is for the nose part where it'll just curve around your nose. I'm trying to get used to this machine here. So I am going to reverse right here, make sure that it stays sewed. And I'm just going to sew in about 1/4 of an inch around this curved area. I'm going to reverse at the end, I think. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this blue one, because I want both of them to be sewn along that curve so I can work together with it. I will get it one of these days. I'm just going to sew along there. I'm going to reverse it for security. And I'm going to get my scissors and cut that thread that I have in between them. Then I want to make sure that I have my sewing on the outside. I want the good part to be flat on my table, so the sewing is on the table. And I want to take this one, and the sewing should be facing me. So sewing on the table, sewing facing me. And I'm going to go around the whole outside so that I can reverse them, and I want to leave a gap about 1.5 inches so I can turn it inside out when I'm finished. So I'm going to just sew around the outside here, and I'm going to reverse it on the end because I'm having trouble with this sewing staying. And I'm going to make sure that these edges are mesh, and your sewing in the center should be meeting also. And sew far enough in that you catch both materials well. Or you'll have one like my first one where I had to go back and do some mending. And I'm going to reverse it on the edges so it's really sewn well. Turn it, and I'm going to go all the way around except for about 1.5 inches that I will need to reverse it. This is my machine. Okay, now for my last edge, making sure all these edges are flush. There's my seam in the center meeting. And I'm just going to leave one whole edge undone. I started on the short edge and went all the way. I started on a long edge and went all the way around, and so I have one whole little side that's undone, and I can use that edge to just turn it right inside out. Voila. And then the easiest way to get these corners is to take a straight pin, just pull it on out and get it all so it's nice. So you have those sharp points on the corners. There's that one's done. It's not going to take you long to make these. You could cut out a whole bunch at once, and the other way is to wet your finger and roll it. Then all I have to do is top stitch it, and it'll close up that last end. And here's my, see that? That's it does perfectly that way or this way. Perfect. And so all I have to do is pull these sides in right here that I didn't sew yet and top stitch it. And I'll just go ahead and top stitch the whole thing. It makes it, it just gives it a nice finished look to have it top stitched. So I will top stitch here, just about 1/8 of an inch in. You don't have to go far because it's already sewn. All we're doing is giving it a better look. So get that so the blue is not seen on this side, because we want to make sure that it's tucked underneath the other side. And we just top stitch this. Almost done with this one side. It's working perfectly. This side isn't quite pulled out, so it's a sharp corner here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, that's better. Make sure your needle's down before you turn your material around, or your stitches look funny in the corners. Okay, the last side. And I want to make sure that this is not rolling, and I've got my red, white, and blue on one side and my blue on the other side. So it has a nice look there. Professional look. They'll never know it's homemade because we did such an awesome job. And if you're at home, it really helps if you can iron it, because then all of these edges will sew really easy because they're ironed under first for you. Okay, well, we made it all the way around, so we're going to take the material out of there. And now for the earpiece, and this little baby will be done. I already knotted it, so I'm going to put it right in here. I'm going to cut these ends off a little bit. I'm going to put it right in there. And I'm just going to fold this over so that knot is hidden. The knot is hidden. And I'm just going to sew right now. This machine doesn't like the knot, I noticed earlier, so it'll be a challenge to get past that knot since I want it hidden. And I will definitely reverse it and make sure that it's really sewn in there well. Now it's easier once I started it. Oh yeah, that one was really nice. Reverse it on the ends. Well, we got one earpiece in there. One earpiece. Now for the second one. Get this off a little bit. Put it right in there. Tuck it under. This is probably the easiest one to do of the ones I've done, and it definitely fits the best over the nose and everything. And I know for a fact that these nurses are having to wash their masks and share them, and we certainly want to help them with anything we can to help them stay safe. And I think we're done. Cut the strings off. And we have us a face mask. There you go. And it's easy to do, and make your own and donate them to any hospital or law enforcement that you'd like. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you have fun making some face masks just to help our brave heroes. Thank you very much.